Hi there, and welcome back to Tripplikit, and today I thought I'd do something a bit different and take a break from working on the Mean Green and just do a quick walk around my PC where I suppose all the software bits happen. And where should we start? Well, we'll start with the operating system and the background picture, which is my design for the Maverick Pulsar, which we'll come to. So I am running jolly old Windows 10, and well, as Windows go, it's doing a job. I'm sort of reasonably happy with it. Don't bother with Cortana, just use the old basic operating system. Microsoft seem to have settled stably on Windows 10, and you might be thinking, alright, why don't I use Linux? Because I would, but there are pieces of software I use which you can't run on Linux, so I'm stuck with Windows. I guess for a YouTuber, important piece of software is and I've got two screens there and I'm only recording the laptop screen, not the monitor. Jolly old Camtasia, which in Untripplikit fashion I do pay for, and I have an annual subscription, and I use it because, as I am at the minute, I can record off the screen, which is useful when I'm doing software and looking at displays for things, and I find it pretty good. I guess I use it quite a bit, so I know it well, but it seems to be pretty logical, pretty easy to use, doesn't fall over in a heap. So yeah, Camtasia, I like it. What else? Virus. I use Bitdefender again. It's the paid for version, because a guy at my last job went through and evaluated all the virus programs and decided on this one for work, so I use this one at home. So it might not be the best one for this application, but anyway, here it goes. It's chugging away on its weekly big virus check. So that's Bitdefender. And what else? Cloud storage. I use Dropbox, again the paid version. Why? It's not Google, it's not Microsoft. Don't know who it is. I'm sure it's part of something else, some other company. But yeah, and that's the paid version, 2 terabytes, and again, it's doing the job I want it to do. I do actually use OneDrive because it comes with Windows, and I use that for just putting things on for you, the viewer, to download if you want to get into code and stuff of what I'm doing. The links you'll find are all on the OneDrive, for files on the OneDrive, and the files are all zipped, and I use JZip, which is, I'm opening it now, free, but you get a link on your zip files to where you can have the paid version, which I don't. This is the free version, and that works, does the job. Right, what else? I'm looking at my crib sheet here. Yeah, general computing programs. I declined to pay Microsoft £100 a year to use Office and use LibreOffice, which is possibly the same as OpenOffice, possibly not. And at one time OpenOffice was not being updated, and this was, so this is what I ended up using, and this is the drawing version of it, and it works alright. Might have the odd eccentricity. Office is probably better, but it works and it's free, so it's what I use. Tripplikit price again. Shall we get rid of Bitdefender? There we go. And again, browser. Firefox I use, it works alright, don't have any problems with it, and I use it because it's not Microsoft and it's not Google basically. That's another independent one, and there it is. And email, I use Thunderbird from the same source for the same reason. Okay, so what do we use for development? At the minute I'm in amongst the Mean Green, so I'm mostly using the system workbench from AC6 Tools, which is based on Eclipse, which is a widely used development system, and it takes a while to load. Okay, so here it is. It can take a while to load, and it's fine, it does the job, but it does suffer from what I find with all these things that are sort of open source collaborative projects, that everybody wants to get their little feature in, and it's just drowning in odd bits of features which just seem to get in the way, and it's hard to find how to turn them off. And all development environments, I find they try and be clever and anticipate what you're typing, and indent things and put extra code in, and just do stuff I don't want it to do, and I just want it just to put in what I type exactly, but you never seem to be able to do that. Anyway, rant over, and it's not just this, it's everything suffers from that. And there is CubeMX as well. Yeah, we'll fire this up quickly, hopefully this loads a bit quicker. Nope. Why does software take so long to load? What's it doing? Load a project quickly. Oh, I'll try and load a project quickly. So there we go, and it just allows you to set up STM32 projects and allocate the pens, and just takes a load of hard work out of setting up a project. Embericadero, I hope I've said that right, C++ builder is what I write PC software on. I used to use whatever Microsoft call their C++ development environment, but they seem to change it every few years completely, so you had to completely relearn it. I don't want to do that, I just want to get on. So this, which is also taking a while to load, this is essentially, let's load the Mean Green Dev one. This has been pretty much the same for 15-20 years when I started using it. They changed things, they improved things, but it's recognizably what it was before, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to figure out the changes. And this is the community edition, which is a Tripplikit price of free for non-commercial operations, which is definitely what Tripplikit is. And I did a video on a tutorial video on getting started with this. And we also have the Arduino development, which is nice and simple. I used to use the web one, but I had a load of problems with that one, and I found the local one to be more reliable, if not any quicker loading. I think it's probably because I've got my recording into Camtasia that everything's ground to a halt, and I don't know what all that is. Ah well. What's the project loaded? Oh, that's a robot drive one. Yeah, okay. Okay, And what else do we have? I have MP Lab here for developing pick code, but I have not done any pick code for Tripplikit. That was what I had for doing work stuff and stuff I did myself while I was working, because I worked all day on picks, so it was easier to do my own stuff on picks. And I have KiCad here, which is a free PC development environment, which I can't remember how to, oh there we go, I can't remember how to work because I spent some time learning it and then I haven't done anything on it since, so the next time I need to do a PCB I'm going to have to relearn it all, or watch my own video even. Wow. And I'll dump that out. The Picoscope, which I use quite a lot for hardware development, because it's cheaper than buying a scope, and I always reckon a computer has a much better display than what you get on an oscilloscope. So there it is, and it won't work because the actual Picoscope's not connected currently. So it says no. Don't know why I loaded it. I've got LT Spice for simulating circuits, which again is free but not that useful because it never seems to have the components I want to use. And going back into audio, I have trusty Cool Edit, which is Cool Edit 2000, which is from the 90s, but it still works on Windows 10, so I still use it. Well, I do. Oh, there we go. Triangle wave. Good. But I do also have Audacity in case for the day that Windows decides it doesn't want to play with Cool Edit anymore. And yep, for music production I use Ableton Live up to 10, they're probably up to 11, and again this is one I pay for, even though I haven't done a lot of music recently. Hopefully when I have the Mean Green I will be inspired to do some more music. And this doesn't want to load too fast either. I think it's because I have the Camtasia recording, it just slows everything else down. And here is Pulsar, which is my little synth which I need to do some work on because it's currently saying I don't have a license for it, and I'm sure I disabled the license and decided to give it away because nobody was interested in buying it. So that's a future project. I'm going to get the Pulsar going again, going to make sure it's downloadable, usable, and hopefully produce a 64-bit version, because I have to use a thing called JBridge because the latest version of Live is 64-bit and the Pulsar is only 32-bit. So that's going to be a future video. We're going to get that running again and try and make a 64-bit version that doesn't think it needs a license. Okay, so and lastly but not leastly, this is what I do when I should be making videos. This is my bubble breaker program, which plays the game itself, so you're playing against a software algorithm. So if I start going here, you can see here is the challenger score is the software, so this is its best score as it works at it and tries different things, and I get just quietly play along, etc. Anyway, I won't show you me playing a silly game. So that is it. I think that's basically the main software that I use for Tripplikit stuff. What else? Oh, there's this MIDI aux thing which I use for testing MIDI. And there's some Amiga stuff which I could uninstall now because I don't use anymore. And finally we have a quick look at what's happening on the Tripplikit workbench. As you can see, we're in amongst the Mean Green, and also some changes I've made. Well, okay, first up, I have retired the magnifier light I made using the LED ring and the Fresnel lens. It was alright, but you had to have the lens A, nearer the job than your eye, and B, absolutely square on to your face, otherwise it distorted. And because I've been having trouble with my left eye, as I've alluded to in other videos, hopefully event soon will be somewhat back to normal. Anyway, I bought a desktop magnifier, which, let me have a look through that. Yeah, that works nicely, and it does mean I don't have an arm coming across the bench, so it does make things a bit tidier. I have also painted the light stands. Well, there used to be 2 light stands with the light at the top, so I mean I've made it 1 light stand with a crosspiece. It just means there's less stuff on the bench, and I've painted them matte black with blackboard paint, and they look good. I need to do something with those wires now, and there's another one the other side, so should we turn them on? This will blind the camera. And there we go, nice bright light on the desk. So now I need to do something with the camera stand, which is clipped to a gooseneck microphone stand. Not ideal, and I still haven't fixed the old power supply. That's an upcoming video, and that's about it. So that's the current state of Tripplikit hardware and software, and tomorrow back onto the Mean Green. Okay, so that's about it for this video. Just a little walk through Tripplikit software that we use to develop stuff and make videos, and a little look at the hardware side of things. Just so really I can take a break from developing Mean Green software. So the next video I'm sure we'll be back onto the Mean Green. So for now it's goodbye from Tripplikit, home of interesting electronics. Goodbye. And it seems a good number of Tripplikit videos are accompanied by mad barking in the background. And here she is, Minnie, the mad barker in the background. Usually the postman or somebody in the street, and now she wants me to open the door so she can decide it's too cold to go out and turn around and come back in again. Are we going to have some lunch, Minnie? Is it lunchtime? And no, she can't use the cat flap. She's too fat and too lazy, aren't you? Aren't you? Say hello to the camera. Come on.